Welcome back to the channel, y'all. It is your girl, Amber Johnson. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how I almost missed out on my purpose. And I know some of y'all are like, how can you miss out on your purpose? Well, here's the thing. It's not as difficult as people think to miss out on your purpose, on your calling, all of those things. Because I think a lot of people think that it'll always be there, it'll always be waiting for me. And the truth of the matter is that when it comes to God and the things that He needs to have us accomplish, He can get somebody else to do it. And I think that people just think that, oh, this is only specific to me. I'm the only one that can do this. And that's simply not the case. God has already done. I tell people this all the time because this is something that my pastor growing up had taught us, is that God has already done the things that He is going to do. He's not actively doing new things. Like, He's already done the things, right? If we think back to the scripture, on the seventh day He rested. What it is that He's waiting on us to get in alignment so that we can do the things that we need to do so that we can accomplish what it is that He wants us to accomplish, so that we can, fulfill, whatever His will is, right? And like I said, I think that some people just have this idea in their head that, oh, when I get around to it, and it's like, no, like He has a plan and it's going to get accomplished, whether it's you or somebody else. Prime example. And I'll get into what this video is about. But prime example, I had teamed up with a lender years ago, and we were going to do a podcast, and it was going to just be, talking about, the real estate market and, just our different perspectives. She was going to tell the lending side. I was going to tell, my side as it relates to being a realtor. And I ended up taking a job with a home builder. And because the home builder had an in-house lender, I was like, I feel like it's going to be competition. And so, there was no like non-competes or anything like that, but I still was like, I don't know, and so we didn't do it. So fast forward, her and somebody else now are doing a podcast. And then now there are other realtors in my area that are also doing podcasts with lenders, right? So after that, so the second scenario is that I have been on social media since I created my first Facebook account in 2005. And I created my first video on YouTube in 2016. And learning all these things about social media, growing these different platforms, people reaching out to me and asking me, how I'm doing this, how I'm doing that, et cetera, me, just being wishy-washy and, not knowing what I want to do and all of this stuff. So what ended up happening was I had a colleague of mine. We went to lunch. And she was telling me how I needed to open a consultation business to help people with social media. And I was like, I don't know, I don't think that I should do that. I don't have a big enough following, and, people aren't going to take me serious. I'm not going to be able to charge people, for that. And now we fast forward to 2026, and there is a agent in my area that has, over the past year or so, has chosen to take social media seriously. And now she is teaching other real estate agents how to generate real estate leads offline, because she has learned how to do that. And so I'm like, okay, this is two instances where I got in my own head and got in my own way, and now somebody else is doing it. So that is just a prime example of, there will be other people to do things. While we're unique, we're not as special as we think we are. And people really need to get that through their heads. So now I'm in a space where I am being pulled, right? I'm being pulled in a direction that is away from real estate as far as the main focus, as far as, that being, all the content that I put out. I am being pulled away from my idea that I'm going to be some type of like social media influencer. And I am being put in a position where I am going to be someone that is empowering and motivating and inspiring millennial moms and wives, specifically those that are already have a service-based business, or they want a service-based business, and they are also Christian, right? And the crazy part is that once I shifted my mindset to focus on that, I started to get people reaching out to me for real estate. And I'm like, well, God, you told me that I, not to focus on that and to focus over here, like what's going on. So a couple of days ago, I became very frustrated with, just different things. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on real estate, get some closings, stack up my money so that I can, and I had 2 buyer's consultations lined up. And don't y'all know, they got canceled. And I thought to myself, I said, so that was confirmation right there that real estate is not supposed to be the main focus. It is getting real estate clients is a byproduct of me serving others in a different capacity. And so I said, okay, well, I know where my mindset is supposed to be, and I know where it's not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be heavily real estate focused. I am supposed to be sharing my testimony, empowering and motivating people. And that is what I'm supposed to be doing. That is the focus. And through the people that I'm attracting by doing that, I'm able to help them if they need help with their content and strategy and things like that. I'm able to help them if they need to buy or sell real estate. But the way they are supposed to be attracted to me is through what God shows me, what he tells me, and the things that I go through. And so I'm like, okay, so now I understand, because instead of it being about me, instead of it being about money, it's supposed to be about him. He is supposed to be the priority. He is supposed to be the main focus, and people are supposed to see him through me. And that is how things get done. And it's just like, oh my God, like the clarity that came from that, y'all, is absolutely, I can't even, I can't even tell you guys, like, it's been a long time coming for me to be figuring out, like, what the heck am I supposed to be doing? Spending all this money on, different types of courses and communities and all of this stuff. And it's just like, oh my gosh. But I feel extremely blessed and grateful to, 1, be able to still hear from him, and 2, to be able to be in a position where I can do the things that I'm doing right now. And so my advice to anyone that's watching this video is that you need to make sure that whatever it is that you are focused on, that it's not self-centered and it's not self-serving. Because if you do that, it will not work, or it'll work for a short amount of time and then it's not going to work after that. If what you are doing does not have God at the forefront, it is not going to work. He has instilled gifts in each and every one of us, and we all have things that we are supposed to be doing for him. And so until people just kind of sit down, take a moment and, understand that part, they're going to be confused. They're going to be going back and forth. They're not going to be able to figure out exactly what they're doing. Another thing that has helped me is, disconnecting from people. Also, getting back into my Bible, doing Bible studies, praying, worshiping, things like that. that has helped me get in alignment and get lots of clarity. So that is my testimony. That is where I am right now. So the videos that you see on this channel are going to be still, you know, what the things that I have been putting out. Like, I haven't been putting out like strictly real estate content in a while. If you follow me on my social media platforms, you will see some of that, especially if you follow me on Facebook, because Facebook is pretty much where I dump everything. It's like my diary, essentially, just like YouTube. But not as much as far as like everything. Like YouTube, it's more of like my life, and that's why it's Life with Amber J. But Facebook, as far as like the posts and stuff, like I will do real estate, I will do the motivation, I will do family stuff on there, because there's, you know, people that I grew up with, that I used to work with, that are on there, you know what I mean? So it's really like a catch-all platform. So yeah, that's the advice that I have for you guys today. So I'm excited about the direction that I'm going, the direction that this channel will be going. If you guys have any questions about content, about strategy, if you are going through something and you just need someone to talk to, I do have, I will be having one-on-ones that I will be launching very, very soon. Feel free to email me. And like I said, questions down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification, y'all, because the videos are coming. I feel like this is the most consistent I've been with my YouTube in a long time, y'all. But yeah, that's enough yapping for today. I will see you guys in the next video.